Guys, it's that time of the week again. Welcome back to the Planet Football YouTube channel and welcome back to this series where I've been reacting to a number of classic footballers of years gone by that I'm just too young to really remember. If you've not seen the most recent episodes, make sure to go ahead and check them out. But today, we are switching it up a little bit because the last couple of reactions that we've done on the channel to the likes of Ronaldinho and Thierry Henry, all players who I knew a little bit about coming into the video. Today, we're going to be reacting to Romario, and my knowledge of him is literally next to nothing. Probably the player that I know the least about coming into one of these reactions, actually. I know that he was Brazilian, I'm pretty sure. Other than that, my knowledge is literally zero on this one. I'm not sure what era he played in. I'm assuming it'll be 90s, but could be 80s, 70s, I don't really know. But I think that'll make this reaction quite a fun one, to be honest with you. So as always, if you do go on to enjoy, make sure to leave a like and leave any other suggestions of any other players that you'd like to see me reacting to in the comments down below. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this one and find out just how good was Romario. Lovely finish off the bat. Took it around a few people there.
He's the best player I ever coached, a genius in the penalty area. These words were spoken by the eternal legend of the game, Johan Cruyff.
Yeah, high praise off the bat.
The 1,000 goal striker and the 1,000 all-night parties
1,000 goals?
The shape of strikers to come. If you've never seen Romario play, you have to watch this video.
Okay, so we're in the right place. Literally never watched Romario play in my life before, so yeah, this should be an interesting reaction.
Romario's story is one you've heard many times before. Poverty. Growing up in a favela, Jacarezinho, Rio's second largest shantytown. It was on those lawless 15-a-side football matches that mixed kids with teenagers and grown-ups where Romario learned to use his small stature and master his close control of the ball. Exploding forward past a forest of legs trying to bring him down, with the sheer speed he developed and the skills honed both on cement pitches and the dreamy Rio beaches.
Yeah, it's interesting because some of the other reactions that we've done on this channel, you know, the likes of R9 Ronaldo and Ronaldinho as well, also came from similar sort of really humble beginnings in Brazil.
Encouraged by his dad to seek a life outside the jungle of favela's alleyways, joined local side Olaria and tried out against Rio giant Vasco da Gama.
Okay,
but
nice.
He was rejected at first for being too small. His stature would give him the nickname.
I feel like that's happened to a few players, and clubs definitely regretted that.
That mistake was amended, of course, but this would be a constant in Romario's career, clashing with coaches. The teenager scored an undefined amount of goals for Vasco, but 7 counted more than most. The ones that crowned him as the top goal scorer in the Tokyo Olympics in '88. That convinced PSV to make the move for the 22-year-old, a move that was pretty uncommon at the time. This was Romario's breakthrough.
Yeah, it's interesting that he moved seemingly over to Europe at such a young age there. I think quite a few people, certainly some of the ones that we've reacted to on the channel previously, have stayed sort of in South America for a little bit before they get that attention by a European club. But
Romario could target a shot at any post. He could curl it in from long range to the top corner or drive it low to the back of the net. Romario was a master of first-time finish. Few were good as him. None as consistent as him. He could dribble defenders with body feints and quick bursts of speed. Coming from a full stop to his runs, Romario would go around keepers, under keepers, over keepers. Heck, he could even score headers, despite being just 5'6".
Oh wow!
And one weapon
so he was short,
stood out the most: the toe poke. Instead of shooting with either side of his feet or the laces, he'd use the front part of his foot. That's incredibly dangerous for goalkeepers. The shot is sent off with tremendous power, and this type of shot gives you no clue as to where the ball might go. If it goes bad, the ball can go anywhere, leaving you looking like a fool. But like we said, Romario mastered this shot to the point that if you Google toe poke, you'll get Romario finish. The thing is, Romario was as talented as he was lazy and unprofessional. The Brazilian had 2 talents: football and partying.
I feel like this is also another trend that we've picked up on some of the other Brazilian players that we've reacted to.
And know he'd left his energy and his legs at home or in a nightclub. There was no controlling his private life. Romario partied all night, every night, even before matches. To Romario, Friday night was party night, even if we had a game the next day. He'd stay out until 4 in the morning and sleep all day before a 7:30 p.m. kickoff.
Wow.
He would dance, chat, meet a local lady, carouse with her, then sleep all day to be fresh for the game.
Wow, I feel like you definitely don't get that these days, do you, with anyone?
Away with this? Goals. In his first 5 years at PSV, Romario scored
so he was there for a while as well.
165 goals in 167 games.
Wow.
He won 3 Dutch leagues, 2 Dutch Cups, and a Super Cup. The better he'd play, the harder he'd party. If he saw,
I was going to say, when you've got a player like that on your side as well, I feel like most people, in the end, just go ahead and turn the blind eye. You know, if the player's turning up on the pitch,
that I was a bit
you
more
allow the
nervous
rest.
than usual ahead of a big game, he'd come to me and say, "Take it easy, coach. I'm going to score and we're going to win." What's incredible is that 8 out of 10 times he told me that, he really did score, and we really did win.
Yeah.
The unmatched performances of Romario took him to the only place a man like him could have gone, Cruyff's dream team. And PSV brought in a teenager, an ever-smiling Ronaldo, to cover for him. That 94 team of Koeman, Guardiola, Baquero, Laudrup, Stoichkov, and Romario was marvelous. The Brazilian was the final stone in Cruyff's infinity gauntlet.
Yeah, it does ring a bell now, thinking of him playing for Barcelona, but yeah, that's only just sparked it off there in my brain a little bit because, yeah, I really didn't know a lot about him coming into this.
Turn you to ashes with one snap. Romario scored 32 goals in his first season at the Camp Nou, enough to win La Liga, but Barca took a beating in the Champions League final. If you ask any Culé about Romario, they will tell you any of these 2 stories. First, how he scored a marvelous hat-trick in Barcelona's 5-0 beating of Real Madrid in 1994's Clásico, a true showing of his incredible goal-scoring repertoire. And how he solved an argument with Cruyff. An international break was ahead of them, and Barcelona players not called up were given time off. But Romario noticed most of his European teammates were just a few hours away from their homelands, while it took him a day to get to and from Brazil. He needed a few more days to enjoy Rio's Carnival. So Cruyff made him an offer. Score 2 goals. Romario did. He was subbed at halftime and left for the airport. When I was born, the man in the sky pointed to me and said,
"That's incredible, really, isn't it?"
You see, that's the problem with Romario. His confidence was as great as his talent. Most of the time, he
follow through with that as well.
But when he didn't, the doubts took over. Cruyff saw the immense talent in him, and as a football icon that he was, he thought he could turn Romario into something he wasn't, an athlete. A lot of modern-day pundits and fans alike look back at players like Maradona, Ronaldinho, or Ronaldo and say, what a waste, if only they were as professional as Cristiano Ronaldo. This is a mistake. These type of poetic players were what they were on the pitch due to their nature off of it. Creativity and audacity aren't taught or trained, they are innate. Romario would face defenders like he would face his nightly conquests. He'd score goals in the same nonchalant manner that he'd down drink after drink before heading to the dance floor. Cruyff wanted to...
Yeah, it's a very interesting point that about the sort of professionalism, and once you sort of get that, are you sort of taking away one of the sort of primal elements of these sort of players? And I definitely do sort of buy into that argument.
This would lead to a break in their relationship, and the forward who'd win the World Cup with Brazil over a U.S. summer would call it quits.
Hombre, yo estoy, todos saben el motivo que yo estoy dejando Barcelona, no es un motivo profesional. Yo estoy dejando Barcelona hoy porque yo creo que ahora veo el momento de volver a mi país, estar junto de mi familia, mis amigos, ahora volver a mi casa. Yo estoy muy agradecido de corazón a todo el pueblo de Barcelona, la afición, los directivos, los jugadores.
Saudade is a non-translatable term used in Brazil. It describes a nostalgic longing for a happiness that is past, one you can feel but cannot grasp. Romario's saudade was real, so much so he had sand delivered to his backyard in Holland. His departure from Barcelona wasn't the end of Romario's career, far from it. He'd even have another go at Spanish and European football at Valencia. But a rift with Luis Aragonés would end that chapter too.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I was sort of wondering really when it came to Romario. Why is it that sort of, I suppose in my generation really, you know, a lot of the people that I talk to and things like that, he's not really someone whoever gets sort of brought up in those conversations of like brilliant players of years gone by, maybe that's just a me thing really, but from the sort of people that I speak to about football and things like that, yeah, he never seems to really pop up in those conversations. Was it because he just wasn't playing sort of in Europe for enough, and had he stayed at Barcelona for a little bit longer, he would be, because clearly, you know, from watching the clips and hearing the stories, got all the talent in the world.
Over 10 more years, with the eventual cash-grabbing stint at Qatar, Australia, and the United States. Retiring in 2009,
so he went all over,
putting in demonstration after demonstration that he could have played at the very top level for years.
Yeah.
The saddest chapter, however, came at the 1998 World Cup. After forming a deadly duo with Ronaldo, labeled Roro, Romario was left out after not fully recovering from injury. Could he have given Brazil the decisive edge to win the 98 World Cup? We'll never know. The reality is that once Romario moved back to Brazil, he retired as a professional. But his football abilities didn't. Look at this footage. There was nothing really wrong with Romario. He just wasn't fit to train and faked his way out of it. His minimum effort was better than most, winning the Carioca Championship with Flamengo in 1999 and doing a double with Vasco da Gama in 2000, including the South America Europa League. Romario even reached the sum of 1,000 goals, like Ray Pele. And, like him, it came after a penalty, which led to a pitch invasion that lasted for 20 minutes before the match resumed. But, like Pele, the figure is heavily disputed. Romario had his own team of people pulling the stats, and included some of his youth goals. Some say he scored 929 goals, others count 772 goals at the lowest.
Right, okay, so that makes a little bit more sense now, because I was wondering when they brought up that, you know, 1,000 goals in the intro, I was thinking that surely I've heard of that if they were like, I suppose, official goals by people's standards and things like that, but okay, yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. Still incredible numbers, by the way. I'm not knocking him for not having 1,000 official goals or anything like that.
Romario became the blueprint for the modern attacker. A fast-as-the-wind forward capable of every skill on his way to goal.
Yeah, that poking finish that I'm noticing now.
Picture this. An attacker with the moves of Sergio Aguero, the dribbling skills and finishing of Ronaldo Nazario, the confidence of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the speed of Mbappe, and the party skills of Romario. No one came close to him. Ronaldinho tried.
Wow, that's such an interesting reaction there, because yeah, he was the footballer coming into this one that I was most intrigued by, because I literally knew nothing about him, but picked up on a lot there. But guys, there we have it. That will wrap it up for today's reaction video. Very much enjoyed this one for Romario, and definitely learnt a lot. Just looked like an absolutely clinical striker, especially back in his heyday. But as always, if you guys did go on to enjoy, make sure to leave a like and do subscribe for some more regular content. Let me know down below any other footballers of years gone by that you'd like to see me reacting to, anyone sort of pre-2007, get them in the comments down below. Apart from that though, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.